With our focus squarely on the upcoming Thanksgiving holiday, today we're leaning into the kind of touches that make the holiday feel special and distinct. It's about more than eating. It's about more than food. My first guest has 6 special touches to create fun memories and traditions for everyone at the table. Candace Hafen is a wife, a mom, a former school teacher who loves celebrating with all of those little details that do make the day stand out. It's great to see you.
Thank you for having me.
You say a well-set party table is your love language.
Yeah, it's kind of like just in the last few years, I've just had an obsession with festive tables. So we got to start there.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about setting the table. It sets the tone, right? When you see a thoughtful, well-dressed table. And I want to emphasize these touches are small, and you don't need to do all 6. You could take 1 or 2 and feel like you're the hostess with the mostest.
Absolutely. If you try to do everything, you're just going to be the stressed out hostess. So we don't want that. But a beautiful table just invites everybody in and makes them kind of want to stay longer and linger. And that's what we want. And then we just add these special touches to set that table up a notch.
To give them something to do when they're lingering and staying along for the chat. All right, we're going to start with a napkin fold that you say is really simple, but look at that. It's a pumpkin on a plate.
It's a pumpkin. So rather than just a plain ordinary napkin, we made it a fun, festive pumpkin. And Brooke, we're going to have you make one.
I'm ready. How do I do this? Okay,
so we've got some folds. If you kind of flip it over, you can see I've already ironed into it some folds that will just make it work a little bit better.
Okay.
But we're just going to open it up.
Okay. All the way?
Yep, all the way.
All the way.
And put it so the pretty side's down.
Okay.
So, there you go. Okay, then you're going to start with just a simple napkin ring, and you put that right in the center, and you're going to pull that up through the center just like so you can see the top.
Kind of like
right,
that?
Yeah, just right up just a little tiny bit higher. There you go. Smooth that out, and then you're going to start, and you're just going to take each corner and fold it and tuck it in. I like to hold on to this kind of as I do it, and tuck those corners in.
You're very brave to let me just go rogue and do this on my own.
It's a pumpkin. You can't mess it up.
I don't know if you're brave or I'm brave. Famous last words, Candace.
There you go.
Famous
and then just go to
words.
the corners, and then you're just going to kind of just tuck each of those and then just shape it. Yep, keep tucking. And I will say, it can be a little finicky to get kind of the perfect shape at the end. It just takes a minute of fluffing and smoothing. And
we call it zhuzhing around here,
Takes a little zhuzhing, just kind of get things how you want them, and then you just stick that cinnamon stick right down the middle.
Look at that. All right, not too tough, but it sets the table with a special touch before the meal has even begun.
Yes.
I love that. What's next?
Okay, so I would say the next thing would be name cards. You know, yes, we know everybody's name that's coming for Thanksgiving dinner.
I haven't actually thought of it like that.
But it's that thing that makes everybody feel like they belong. Even in our families, we like that special touch. We like to feel like we belong.
Totally.
So these, true story, this was made many moons ago, and we have used them for many, many Thanksgivings.
Oh, I love that.
Those are my kids' hands, one of my kids' hands. We have 3 kids, and I had them help me. We traced their hands. We made these, we used them every year, and when someone new would join the family, Grandma would just say, hey, we need another one, and we would make another one.
Hand trace and all.
Hand trace and all.
No matter the size of the hand.
Well, I think we traced one of the little hands. We might have retraced. But
smaller turkeys are cuter.
But using them year after year, like the kids love it.
Yeah.
They're connected to it. They have that, hey, that's my hand.
Yeah.
And just a special touch you can do. So it's just made with this little tent here, and then you've just glued this on, put the googly eyes, that whole thing. But a little special touch is to take that tent, flip it open, and write a note in there to the person.
That.
So, like, we had fun. We actually have a couple sets of these, and on our other set, we wrote little notes to every person on the inside. And it was just a fun touch.
Do you announce it at the table? Everyone flip your card over, or let them kind of find it? By...
I don't remember which we did. So whichever you like. I guess if no one notices, you announce.
All right, you call these conversation leaves, and tell me how they play out at the table.
So, okay, so these are super, super fun. These are probably my favorite thing for Thanksgiving. And so we have, they're wood leaves, and one side is blank, and one side has a conversation starter on it. So you can just use them to, you can see they're kind of throughout the table.
Yeah.
And then at dinner, you know, when you're sitting there, you're like, okay, you know, start with Johnny and say, Johnny, read us your question, and he reads it. And if it's a big group, you might just have him read it and answer it. But if you have a small group, let everybody answer it, you know, and kind of go around. And the fun part is, so you can see with this one, if you just use vinyl, or you can use a paint pen, you can use them as a name card as well.
Oh, for sure.
So then they just flip it over.
The wood touch, the rustic touch is really nice. And I feel like it's a meal where, I mean, you might get a few eye rolls from the teenagers, but you can kind of evoke those more thoughtful conversation points.
Yeah.
And so to have a question, a conversation leaf that helps you as the jumping off point is really slick and easy.
And use some fun questions too. Like, you know, there's things you can ask that can get people laughing, and the teens are good with those.
Okay, good. So lighten it up too. Mix it up, if you will. All right, next, gratitude lists.
Yes. So right here, This is just a simple list, and I have a free printable for this everybody can grab.
Oh, great.
But it's just a list that you put on everybody's plate, tie it up with a pencil, and they can write their list of what they're thankful for that year. A super fun tradition you could start with that, which one of my friends does, is every year they write these lists and then they keep in an envelope and they bring them out the next year.
Fantastic.
After they've written their new list.
Kind of the carryover, where we were last year and where we are this year.
And then you can compare and say, well, what am I thankful for this year? And what was I thankful for last year?
Oh, it's a celebration of growth, and that layered lens is always really thoughtful and meaningful, I think.
Yes.
Okay, next to it, a really cute favor. How did you make those cornucopias?
So these are super, super fun and super, super easy because I want a favor that's meaningful, but a favor that isn't going to take too long to make that it's not worth it.
Right, right.
So these, you just start with a sugar cone, you get a wet paper towel, you wrap it around it, you microwave it for like 20 seconds.
Okay.
When it comes out, it's going to be hot, so just be a little cautious. Just take a wood dowel and curve that end around it, hold it for 10 seconds. As soon as it's set there for 10 seconds, you're good to go. You fill it up with treats.
So it gets hard again. It firms up.
It gets hard again. And you just fill it up with treats. But an extra special thing that you can do, again, is inside of these, before you put in the treats, take a strip of paper, write, something you're grateful for. Again, you're not going to do all these. You're picking which one fits with you. But you can stick a note in there. That's a lot of gratitude.
I mean, I feel it, but.
But how fun is it when they think they're just getting a treat and they open it up and it says, I'm grateful that you.
There's something there.
So.
All right, take us to the kids' table. Give us a few fun ideas for the kids' table.
Can I backpedal you to this one I forgot to mention?
Oh, sure.
So this is just another way to be grateful. This is just a note card that you can open up. Fun thing you can do with those is when everybody arrives, hand them out at the door with the name of a family member. And then everybody fills one out. You collect them before dinner.
I love that.
Set them on all the plates. So everybody writes a note and everybody gets a note.
I love that.
So.
I love that.
Okay, kids' table is the best place to be, right? That's where we all want to sit.
Amen, sister.
I still want to go to the kids' table. But just have something fun. You can use it to entertain them. You can do a craft. You can do coloring. This is just a big coloring poster that they can color on during dinner with these fun, look at these cute turkeys.
Darling.
And they hold your crayons. And we also have, that'll be linked in the blog, that you can grab the pattern to make those.
Oh, fantastic.
But yeah, just make it a place the kids want to be. And the thing about this coloring option is, they make tablecloths, you can do it, you can get this printable. But it gives them something to do, but it's also not just for the kids. So if you're like, I don't want, because this can become their table cover, but if you're like, nah, I don't want to use that for my table cover, just have it out before or after dinner, and you'll find that you probably have adults that are starting to come over and color with them.
Well, it's one of those activities that takes you to mindless zone, which actually I find is where some really good connection conversations tend to happen when hands are busy and minds are free. So I love that you pointed out that's not just for the kids.
And it gives you, even the teens, like the chance to kind of like connect with you and open up.
Right. All right. The download, also the template, those available, as you mentioned, on your blog. Where can we connect?
So just go to Lemon Drops, www.lemondropslillies.com, and there's a blog post there. You just scroll to the blog and you'll see it.
All right. Well, thank you for these ideas, and we'll link you from our website if you want an easy connection point. Small things you can do to make the Thanksgiving table feel special and fun this holiday season. Thanks again, Candace. Great job.